we go. All right, this is going to be a little bit different. Welcome, everyone. My name is Pastor Steve. That's one of the names I've been called in my life. There are many of them. And I say that jokingly, but to be honest with you, I'm going to start this out. We're going to talk about a smart business opportunity. And I'm going to try to encapsulate everything to a point and probably concentrate on one part of a business platform that actually has 8 different income streams and offers 12 different services. But as an entrepreneur, and I have to be honest with you, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. I came to ministry late in my life. When I was 52, I'm now 66. Brought up in a household where my father was an entrepreneur. He owned 3 different businesses that he started himself, all from scratch, and did very well for himself, ending up with home improvement business, and a home delivery fuel oil company, and a restaurant that sat with the banquet facility sat 300 people. So I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit in me. I started out as a high school teacher. I taught 12th grade history. I taught government. When my wife and I started having children back in the 70s, my income as a teacher was $7,200 my first year, and I got all the way up to $7,600 after 4 years. When we started having children, and my wife wanted to stay home, and I said, well, I'll find a way. So I took a position with a major corporation and made more money in 3 months than I did an entire year as a teacher. It started me down the path. Eventually, I took what I learned there and went into business for myself, and ended up and the business I had was that during the time when continuous forms were a big thing and the printers just chalked out all these forms. I ended up in the printing business, and I ended up in 36 states working with major companies. Very successful business, which I started on my own, and got involved in other things. I've always been involved in networking. I'm an old Amway distributor to start out with, so both Amway's old and so am I. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is what we call a smart business opportunity. And I was talking with Bill, who is my brother-in-law, a few minutes ago, saying that this is something he'd understand also, because Bill's background is that he's been an entrepreneur all his life also, and including the restaurant business. Now, what is a smart business? What is a smart business opportunity? Well, we're going to talk about business. We're going to be talking about banking, what it means to be an entrepreneur, and what is a smart business. Not saying that other businesses are dumb. That's not what we're referring to. But they don't have the availability to generate profit on their own. And what do I mean by that? It's almost, put it this way, it was Warren Buffett that said, unless you learn how to make money while you're sleeping, you're going to work until you die. Well, if you're making money while you're sleeping, that's a very smart business. So what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? I mean, an entrepreneur owns his own business. He believes in himself. He has a concept that he can do more and accomplish more on his own than he would by working for someone else. And the business an entrepreneur gets in generally is going to be something he believes that he can be successful at, or he sees an opportunity to build a better lifestyle for him and his family. Now, what happens in many cases is that as an entrepreneur, you're creating a job for yourself. The business becomes a job. One of the things that I had a printing business. I was in 36 states. I never felt comfortable taking a vacation. All right, I worked 6 days a week from 7 in the morning to midnight running that business, except the business had me running. All right, I never had peace of mind because I had to stay on top of my business. In other words, what I had done is I had created a job for myself. All right, which in one way, I'm the boss. That's fine. But another way, it ended up owning me. All right. And I did very well. I mean, I started out with a very small investment. I'll give you a little insight on it. I was working for a Fortune 500 company. I went out, was out in the field. I came back and they had closed the office. So what's the thing to do? The thing I did was, well, my wife is pregnant. I had about $100 to my name that I could invest. The rent was due. The car payment was due. The electric was due. I went out and started a business. In my first year, because we're going to look here, since the first 5 years, you're usually in debt and losses, I netted $9,000 my first year. Now, it's not a lot of money, but the time period, even then, was more than what I'd made when I was teaching high school. My second year, I made over $30,000. My third year, I hit over $100,000, and I kept growing from there. The aspect is that you can become profitable, or as you become profitable, you're going to be living on the money that's coming in. Now, you can incur debt. I was fortunate enough that I actually had people who gave me credit, that I could use that credit to develop my business. But still, I had to pay that credit back. So I had to make a profit and pay that back. And, it was, I guess it was the work ethic and the right time for that type of business. One of the things that put me out of business was laser printers. All of a sudden, people didn't need me to print forms for them. They could do it right there in their office with a laser printer. But generally speaking, if you're opening up a business, it's going to take you 1 to 5 years to really turn a profit. Normally, you're incurring debt, or if not incurring debt, you're incurring a loss. Let's say hypothetically you have a delivery service, and which was another company that I ran, had 5 trucks on the road. Each one of those trucks was valued at, when I purchased them back in the 80s, was valued at $18,000. Well, I didn't have $100,000 in cash to buy them, so I had to take out car loans, actually vehicle loans. And I had to make enough money to pay that debt. That was part of my overhead. Part of my overhead was the gas and the expenses and making sure that the people working for me were doing a job they're supposed to be doing. Again, he ended up owning me. All right. Now, hypothetically, that was $100,000 in approximately an investment. And generally, it takes anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 to get any kind of business going. And depending if you're doing a franchise, it can cost over $1 million. You tried doing a McDonald's franchise, for Pete's sake. I think last time I looked, it was $1.5 million for one location. All right, that's a pretty big overhead. And again, what happens, you end up working that franchise, usually the first 2 to 5 years, 60 hours a week if you're the owner. So what have you created? You haven't really created yourself freedom, time freedom. You may be on a way to develop that over a period of years, but you have created a position for yourself to work. That's what you've done. Now the banks, if you take a look at the banking system, when I purchased my trucks back then, an average back in, if you ever want to back look at history, look at Jimmy Carter, we were having 24% interest rates on mortgages back then. A vehicle was going at 9%, if my memory is correct. So you're looking at $100,000. You can take a look what I was paying just in payments on the vehicles every year. Now the banks like you to put your money in their bank so they can turn around and they can lend it out. They are the primary reason for OPM, other people's money. Most cases, they may have investors, but they're not using their own money to generate and create money. All right. They want, if you put in $10,000 in the bank, they're going to pay you usually 1% or less on a year. Plus, you're going to have bank fees, check fees. You know, they are not doing you a favor, even though they'd like to think you are. They use your money. All right, there are loans at the major banks such as Chase and Key and all these major banks do for major corporations. If a corporation is having a shortfall in their cash flow and they have to pay, do a payroll, and they may be short, all right, they will charge up to 24% interest on a 48-hour loan. I mean that's that's gouging, but they do it and they get away with it. Credit cards, some of your credit card companies, if you got bad credit, instead of giving you a lower rate, they turn around and want to charge you 23.9% interest. All right, they don't care if you ever pay the debt off. They just want to keep you broke and get payments coming in. All right, and that's all part of the banking system. They charge you fees on your money, and I'll tell you what, if you got a substantial amount of money, let's just say $10,000 in the bank, and you want to go take that money out, they're going to ask you why. They don't want you to take your money out of the bank. Well, you know what? It's none of their business. It's rather intrusive the way they treat you. They're not treating you as a friend. They're it's like they're doing you a favor for letting you to keep their money there. I know Dr. Joyce likes to talk about Europe, where they actually have negative interest rates. It's your money, and you should be able to do with it what you want. Now, in actuality, I think it's smart to become your own banker. This is something that our friend Brian talks about. I'd rather earn an income and be in charge of my own money than to have someone else in charge of my money. The old joke is that if you want to get a loan from a bank, you got to show them that you don't need the money. In actuality, it really is crazy, because if you need it, it's very hard to get a loan. Now, what is a smart business? We're going to talk about crypto. All right, crypto is the future as far as currency is concerned. I do believe that, and I think if you're not educated in crypto, if you don't know how crypto works, you need to become educated in that field. All right, really, really simple. It's a way for you to become the banker. All right, it's a way for you to become what I call large and in charge. It's your money. Use it to your benefit. The bank isn't going to give you, if you do $10,000, you run that number, you look at that over a course of a year, you're going to make $100. All right, that's really exciting, isn't it? All right, now what if you could take that $10,000, put it in a crypto account, let the artificial intelligence do the trading for you, and turn around inside of 8.3 months with no personal effort on your own, double that money. Yeah, well, it's okay. So if you're thinking in terms of our current banking system, all right, and how you accrue dividends, or even an IRA or retirement fund, nothing is going to touch this, right? And what makes it sound unbelievable, or hard to believe, let me put it that way, is because it's not done through a normal banking system. Our banks aren't there to service, they're there to use our money. That's statement number one, all right? Now, in 8.3 months, that $10,000 doubles. That's $100 per day return times 6 days a week. That's $600 per week times $2,400 per month that you make with a smart business. Okay, now smart business concept. Now understand, this is just one of 8 different income streams. I'm not going to talk about all the income streams tonight. What I'm going to do is talk about smart business and a little bit about crypto, and I'm going to tell you point blank, or I should say ask you, to get back with the person who invited you here to see the other 7 income streams. All right. Now, earnings. All right. What we do is your plan doubles. Okay. Whatever you invest, all right, we're talking direct trade here. Whatever you invest in your direct trade, that is going to double. All right. And when it doubles, your investment has matured. Okay. We're also going to educate you. I'll give you a crypto education. And we're also, many people are predicting that right now, like such as Bitcoin and the crypto market is down a bit. As people become more and more aware and educated in cryptocurrency, the value is going to really, really increase. All right. So what am I talking about as far as how you're going to make this kind of money? All right. Let me, it's actually called direct trade. Let me see if I can find the other screen I have somewhere over here hiding. All right. Now bear with me for a second. All right, you don't want to see my email, but that's all right. We're gonna come over here. And I'm gonna come over here. Let's share it. Name of the company very quickly, and I'm not going to get into details. Name of the company that does our trading for us, and which is our platform, is called Forecount. And as you see, I'm scrolling through here. There's a lot to the program, but what I want to talk to you is, everyone see, can you see my screen? Did it share?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's shared. All right, thank you. All right, because I can't tell from this end. All right, I can see it, but I don't know if it's shared. Direct trade is done with US dollars and Bitcoin. All right, to open up a direct trade with our program, you need to invest a minimum of $100. Okay, $100. Okay. Next time I take my wife out, I'll probably spend that much. So I mean, $100 isn't that much in today's economy, and you will earn 1% a day, 6 days a week. All right, and how it works is very, very simple. I'm going to take you over here to this chart over here. You can see it says the minimum to start is $100 up to $49,000. All right, you make 1% a day. Okay, there are bonuses with this. If you decide to refer, it's another stream of income. But if you decide to refer people, they call it direct indication bonuses on your first level. You make 1%, second level 3%, third 2%, and etc. There are also other bonuses that go with it. But on 1% a day, 6 days a week, if it was $10,000, it'd be $600 per week. Now, $50,000, and I was told that they, I just heard a story, and I think Dr. Joyce can verify it. She heard the same information from the same person, that a gentleman came into our program with $50,000 right on the first day, and that is a different percentage. It's 1.25%, okay, which is $625 per day times 6 days. That's $3,750 times 4 weeks is $15,000 a month. That's a nice little piece of change coming in. Now, of course, you know, if you have it, you can do it. But you don't have to just start at a large number. I've always told people when they've asked me when's the best time to get going and what is the amount I should come in. I've had that question asked me several times. Well, what should I invest? You should invest what you feel comfortable investing. I never tell people what to put in. I never tell them what to invest. It's not my money. And the whole idea of becoming your own banker is that this is your money, this is your bank, this is your direct trade, this is your now income. All right. We have now income, which is direct trade, and we have future income with a number of our other programs, including what we call a Mindex program, which you think about it, you're investing in coins, and look, all right, and those coins are, you know, it's a speculation, but we do anticipate them increasing. But that's like a 401k, you know, that's down the road. All right, this is now money. All right, and with that being said, you know, looking back in retrospect, what I've done in my life, with the businesses I've owned and businesses I have run, I see that where they owned me. All right, I'm going to unmute my brother-in-law Bill. All right, and like him to, because I know what he did. Okay. All right, Bill, can you hear me? Bill, can you unmute yourself? All right, well, I wanted to ask him a question, but apparently I'm not getting, something's not working here because it says he's on mute. There you go. Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I just want you to say a word if you would, because I know that you ran a couple of restaurants and they are not easy. All right. And as far as time consumption, can you speak to the point of how they end up owning you and what you had to do in the course of a day?
No, you're looking at probably 90% of your week, I would say. Even if you have a day off, it's still a day that you're working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember working at the brick oven and had to be there. You know, we opened for dinner at 4. I had to be there at 10 just to do prep and get everything ready, and that was 6 days a week. Not counting when we had weddings and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, yep.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And then if you weren't working in your days off, you were making sure that you had all the goods were being received, so you could, you know, the fruits and the vegetables and the meats and everything else were coming in. So, all right.
Well, like you said earlier, the business owns you.
Yeah. So, bottom line, this is a smart business. All right. If you are talking to anyone who's an entrepreneur, anyone that has a desire to go out on their own and determine their own level of success, and direct trade is what really got me excited. When I first saw this, I didn't come in with the Mindex coin. I came in with Dash. And when I saw it, I said, wow, direct trade. I am making money every day. And regardless of what I do, you know, all I got to do is wake up and look. All right, 6 days a week, 24% a month. You know, I started telling everyone, I make 24% a month. All right, which is a fact. Show me where else that can be done. All right, I don't know of any other. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to turn off the recording. I'm going to stop everything and say thank you for coming. All right. Please get back to the person who invited you here tonight if you have any questions. All right, and you want to see the entire program. Thank you and have a great night.